So I have returned once again today to deliver an episode of Inuyashiki. This episode being episode 8. And if YouTube kicks in, it does not scare me. It's kind of loud. It's kind of loud, that was. Got me off guard a little bit. So I thought I'd actually kind of address where I've been for the last 4 days, I think now. Basically, yeah, I caught kind of a pseudo cold. I don't actually really call them colds because I lost like 10 seconds, but it's one of those ones that is sort of it gets you and it sort of really freaking hurts for a couple of days, but you're like, why is this happening to me now? It's been like that for the last, I'd say, a couple of days. Plus, then actually kind of got my migraines came back, which is even worse. So it's been quite the week. That's why I haven't really been kind of doing anything. So yesterday I was actually streaming on Twitch, but hell if YouTube actually even tells you I'm actually been doing that. But yeah, that's where I've been for the last, I would say, 3-4 days, just kind of wanting to kind of recover fully and actually not probably go even worse than I was beforehand because I actually was quite ill. So yeah, stupid colds that happen with like 10 seconds. You're sort of like, why was it even there in the first place? But anyway, so last week's episode kind of was the most lackluster episode so far. I would say out of episode 2. It's not episode 2 of kind of badness, but it was still kind of like, eh. Like by the end of it, kind of like, well, I don't know, because Hero's character, as I said in the stream last week, he wasn't a character actually can carry a narrative on his own because he's not fundamentally an interesting character overall. He's kind of very samey in certain aspects. He's kind of like, okay, I can see what they're trying to do there. I can see it. I appreciate it, but I'm just not kind of fully on board with it. And then you kind of have the kicker at the end when he kind of goes, oh, look, I'll become good again. Only then to kind of then have the special forces to attack the actual house where he's actually currently in, which probably then actually kind of evaluates his whole entire psyche, actually makes them go and realize, oh yeah, by the way, I'm pro bad again, actually start killing again. So it's kind of repetitious in a way. His character arc is very repetitious. So hopefully the series doesn't go down that route for the rest of the series, because otherwise it might be very kind of a little bit not so good. But anyway, enough talk. Enough talk of what might not happen if the series continues, because let's face it, it might not go down that route, but it's just the fact is, if they choose to characterize him that way, it's going to be like, all right, okay. You're kind of just killing a character which I didn't really like in the first place, but because my problem with his character is you can't humanize a character like that. It's impossible. You could try all you might, but you won't inferior characterize him to a point everyone will start liking him because there's no point. He's a completely terrible person. So yeah. Anyway, enough talk. Let's start this thing in 3, 2, 1. Let's begin now. Jesus Christ. That's where I want to start with. My throat was to give out in a second if I started speaking again. Oh man, that was painful. Uh-oh. I mean, here's the thing about that scene. It's the fact is you kind of knew it was coming, so the shock of the whole entire thing kind of gets taken away because you know it's happening. You know, at one point the whole entire thing's going to come collapsing down, and it won't very be a-okay for Hero's character. You know it's going to happen. So that's the problem with the actual beginning of the episode. The fact is you knew it was going to happen, so no shock actually kind of comes from it. Because it's like, okay, well, you know it's going to happen at one point, so it's just like, at the end of it. I mean, yeah, we lost Shion's character, which I actually kind of liked a bit. I liked her a lot, which was actually kind of cool, but that's what happens, I guess. Which then kind of feeds into Hero's character overall. It's the fact is, why not just kind of let him just be completely pure evil the whole entire time? Well, not kind of why kind of make him get attachments once again? Just allow him just to kind of carry on where he is. But I don't know. Because it feels a bit repetitious, and it just doesn't feel kind of like okay, I can see what they're trying to do here. I can see it because they're trying to make him feel human once again because he's not human anymore. But at the same time, it's kind of like you're trying to humanize a demonized character, which in some cases can in theory work. But with Hero's character, you've seen him do so much kind of terrible things, it's kind of irredeemable for his character. So the whole entire thing just kind of goes by the end of it. I don't know. That's what I kind of feel about his character. That's why I just didn't like episode 7 too much. You're trying to undemonize a character, which is impossible for him. But alas, what can you do? Oh God. There we are. That's the paint. There it is. That's the paint. Jesus, that's better. It's quite an interesting episode overall so far, must say. I don't think it still matched the kind of the greatness of the previous episodes, but it's still pretty interesting. It's quite an interesting place to place this kind of episode, like this far into narrative as well. This is one of those episodes that you kind of expect for like episode about 4-ish. I introduce all the characters and get to like kind of the full swing of everything. But I don't know. It kind of pseudo works, I think. I guess now she's realized as well. I guess it's actually kind of cool because she actually hasn't outright been told about it. She's actually kind of experienced it for herself, like firsthand what's really going on here. Which is kind of neat. Oh man, mock exams. I remember those. For like 10 years ago, I took those exams. To like, don't know, 3 years ago now. It feels so long ago. It feels so long ago. Ow. I guess he healed them. But that's not so bad. I don't want to lose those characters. But it says, I guess in a sense, we lost the characters towards the narrative, but not in the sense of the actual kind of show overall, because apparently he healed them. See, again, here's the thing about his character. Once again, he kind of loses all shock value because you're kind of like his character. At the first, you're kind of like, wow, okay, what's going on here? Why is he doing all this? But at this point, it's kind of like, okay, well, it's just going to happen anyway, isn't it? So shock value kind of gets a bit lost in the kind of how it's all been done. How he's structured Hero's characters kind of it works against him in certain characteristics, but it kind of works with him as well. It's a bit weird. That's why I kind of just I don't know how to tell about his character because it's just like it's structured so unevenly. He's kind of like, okay, I understand what they're trying to do, but at the same time, it's kind of like because now we're back to where he was beforehand, as if anything beforehand kind of just didn't happen. Though it's there, it just kind of doesn't feel like it. It's also just me, but the animation's taking a pseudo hit this episode as well. Got in certain shots as well. It's not all the time. It's only certain shots. It was alright. I must say, it was alright. Again, it's kind of the fact is it's the way they've done Hero's character, which kind of just it kind of pseudo works against him. It's an interesting concept because you kind of like you can see what they're trying to do, but it just kind of feels a bit like what's the point in it? Because he's gonna revert back to where he was beforehand. So it's kind of like, is there much point ever even kind of doing an episode that it's kind of dedicated to half of it just to him kind of changing back to being a kind of a good guy? Is there much point because he's going to go back to where he was beforehand? Not really, because it's kind of like, it feels like a waste of time. Time you could have spent somewhere else, kind of just like evening out certain things that might not have been evened out beforehand. I don't know. It's interesting because I just don't know. I don't know how I feel towards his character, because you're kind of trying to make me sympathize with someone who's murdered a lot of people and who just went and murdered even more people just now. It's like, there's no way you can do that. So what was the point trying to do it beforehand? Because I know that he's trying in theory to like kind of pseudo change, but then you're kind of making it seem as if there's no point to it because he's basically going to start killing again. It's just, eh. That's what it feels like. It just feels a lot of meh with his character. He's kind of the missing link in his whole entire show, because he's meant to be the main antagonist, but at the same time, you're kind of like, you don't see anything in him. That's the thing with his character. If they structured him differently and kind of included maybe some of episode 7, episode 2, and actually kind of just reverted some of the things, there might have been kind of some clarity in his character, actually kind of improve, make the kind of future events kind of flow a little better. Because I don't know if episode 7 kind of worked in favor of this episode, because you kind of like, he saved those people, but now he's going to kill even more people because they're kind of after him. Because I guess at that point he kind of realizes, what's the point? I don't know. Just it's kind of, it's one of those. This is one of those shows that it kind of has a lot of problems, but at the same time, there's certain things that do save this episode as well. Like, in essence, Ichiro's character very much fundamentally saves this whole entire episode, and actually this whole entire show overall, because he's such a great character. Look, he really is. He's an amazing person. Like, in essence, the whole thing with Mario, when he basically says, "Look, if she graduates and actually passes, I don't see a problem here." It was actually kind of sweet. I was like, you go, dude. You go, because you're freaking awesome. And I actually kind of like the fact of how Mari found out about the whole thing with Ichiro's character, because it wasn't in the sense of him telling her. It was actually her experience it for herself. Actually kind of go, holy crap, what the hell's going on here? I thought it was actually kind of neat. I thought, you know what? For everything else that happened in this episode and actually then subsequently happened, that was probably one of the saving graces. The fact that actually she kind of experienced it on her own. And actually now she's kind of got that idea in her head, and she's kind of like, how do I see my father now? It's an interesting concept. I thought, good job on that front. I thought that was kind of neat. But then Hero's character kind of ruins it, because it's just like, I don't fundamentally like him as a character. I think he's just kind of okay. I mean, there is shows that do fundamentally actually kind of characterize a villain to actually kind of be pseudo okay. Actually, then in theory kind of counteract that again. Actually, then him going back to where he was beforehand, but don't do it twice. And actually, then in theory him go back to the whole entire killing aspect of his character. It loses all shock, because you kind of like, I've seen this done before. So it's just routine at this point, which is actually kind of, it's a detriment to its whole entire series, because Hero's actions are meant to kind of shock you. When you don't feel that shock anymore, you're kind of like, okay, then what do I feel towards his character? He's just kind of there. He's a roadblock for our protagonist actually kind of become a fully fledged hero. That's the problem with the show. He just becomes a roadblock after a while. Like, in essence, you don't see any kind of quirks in his character actually kind of then in theory make him kind of seem a little bit better. Like, actually kind of then save his character. Like, this, it's just like, oh, I've got nothing to cling on to anymore. Oh, I've got something to cling on to. I'll change. Oh no, they ruined my life once again. I'm actually going to start killing again. It's routine at this point. It's just, I don't know. It's structured in a way that you kind of just can't get heads or tails of his character, to a point that you kind of feel as if, okay, well, that episode was worth of his character, because last episode actually kind of was in essence pointless when you think about larger context, because it's like, what did it serve? I mean, he got a bit of humanity left, which actually might in theory work in tandem with the end of the series, but in the larger context, you didn't get anything. You got the fact he's actually still a bit human, but that's about it. It's just like he's still a bad person fundamentally. It makes this whole entire thing just feel a little bit less it's shocking. Is what I'm trying to say before my throat gives out. It just doesn't. It's like I don't know. He's interesting. Jesus, my throat will not leave me alone now. I mean, I don't know if that's a good example to use, but Light's a character you don't like him after a while, but you kind of admire the fact he actually does. He actually, even though he's very intelligent, but you don't really admire him at the same time. But you kind of like, okay, he's not completely fundamentally dumb, as he was actually done in the actual kind of anime, the film. But days off. Here, Hero's kind of like, okay, all right, Hero. What's the point? I don't know. Do I say it kind of ruins the whole entire series? Not really. It doesn't. It doesn't ruin the whole entire series. As I said beforehand, there are certain aspects of the show that actually doesn't really save it. But for me personally, Hero's character kind of ruins it slightly because it's not. Jesus Christ. There's nothing in him that she. Wow. I don't know what's going on now. Ow. That was painful. Wow, I'm actually crying as well. Wow, that was painful. That was really painful, actually. Okay. There we go. Save myself a bit, though. I might end this. Whew. I might end this stream a little bit earlier than usual because I'm actually kind of still getting over my cold and it's actually not allowing me to speak. So, yeah. I guess in resume, fundamentally not a bad episode, just not kind of great either because Hero's character kind of infuriated is a detriment to this whole entire series overall, I think, personally. If you do infuriate see differently, then do tell me. I don't mind. It's one of those things. I just kind of see it my own way, and it's kind of just, he's just kind of okay. He's not great. He's just kind of there. At this point, it's not shocking anymore. It's kind of like it's a bit routine at this point as well, which doesn't really work because this show is kind of meant to be shocking. Does it make you hate him overall? But it's, at this point, you hate him anyway. So what's the point? So yeah. Do apologize once again. Probably if anything happens, I probably might actually in theory just do like a follow-up video afterwards, or probably tomorrow. And I'm probably not fundamentally losing my throat at the same time when I'm speaking because I'm actually at this point. So yeah. I mean I liked certain aspects of this show. I do. I like certain aspects of this episode as well. Same time, I just think there's actually some things wrong with this episode as well, which doesn't actually kind of lend itself well to itself. But let's see how it all kind of comes to a halt at the end. Let's see how it all ends as well. So yeah. With all that said, I have indeed been the driver. Sorry, my voice has been kind of working against us this stream, but I don't know what happened. So yeah. If you have enjoyed this whole entire stream as a whole, and you don't leave a like, then do leave a like because indeed it does hurt quite a bit. If you have enjoyed what I do here, and you want to stay a bit longer, then do leave a sub because indeed it does hurt quite a bit until whenever when I come back. I will see you guys later. Bye for now.